I was talking yesterday about Kim Kardashian because at the moment I'm actually dating a woman who reminds me a lot of one of the Kardashians, the dad. Although he's not the dad, is he? He's actually the stepdad, and now he's the stepmum. Because Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner, and Caitlyn Jenner is a transgender woman. And is a transgender woman any less of a woman than a cisgendered woman? And you could equally ask, is a stepdad any less of a dad than a biological father? In many cases, they are more of a dad than the biological father. But what is a woman and what is a transgender woman? Sex is biologically defined, but gender is a social construct. I was filling out a form recently, and when it said gender, I wrote, yes please. That joke doesn't really work, because gender is how you define yourself, and sex is how a doctor defines you when you're born. So there are many genders, and gender means different things in different countries, in different cultures, in different societies. And once upon a time I was teaching in the Middle East, and a colleague of mine was what you might call a masculine looking butch so-called female, whose appearance confused a lot of the children. They weren't used to seeing an individual like that, and some of them would ask the question like, oh, is it a man, is it a woman? And when my colleague was questioned about this, she said, the problem in this society is that there are only two genders. And back then I thought, well, what are you talking about? That there are only two genders, male and female. But over the last few years, we've come to discover that there are very, very many genders, and that gender is actually a broad spectrum, and we probably all lie somewhere on the spectrum between male and female. We will all have stereotypical male traits, stereotypical female traits, and at the end of the day, that's all gender is. It is a stereotype. And I posted my video about the 11-year-old drag queen, a young boy dressed as a woman who was paraded around on daytime TV, much to the applause of the audience. And I posted this video in a thread on a post about gay pride somehow peddling a paedophile agenda. And I put my video up to throw it into the discussion and to see what points would come up. And within seconds of me posting it, someone responded with, so what? I was a tomboy. Now, they'd obviously not had time to watch the 10-minute video, because their post was instantaneous after I'd posted mine, 11-year-old drag queen. And what they're saying when they say, so what, I was a tomboy, all you mean is you were a young girl who didn't fit the stereotype of what females are meant to do in our society. But it is just a stereotype. So, Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner, Amir Khan got in trouble recently for referring to Caitlin as Bruce in a Snapchat story. It was apparently very offensive to refer to a transgender woman as her male name. But I don't think Amir meant any harm by it, and Caitlyn Jenner is obviously someone who he has a lot of respect for, especially being a former sports person. So, what does it mean to be a woman? Because if a woman is just somebody who identifies as a woman, regardless of their biology, then I can tell you that I am a woman and I identify as a woman. Why does a woman have to have the physical traits that we associate with women? And I would say to individuals who are born biologically male, who then go through some kind of transitioning and medical procedures and hormone replacement, why are you conforming to society's definition of what a female should be, or a male? It works both ways. Why do you have to change your physical form if you feel that your personality, your identity is feminine or masculine? If you feel that you have a feminine personality, there's no reason for you to have to mutilate yourself just to fit society's definition of what a female should be. And I think perhaps rather than coming up with more and more and more genders, and the list of genders that you can choose from is becoming as long as your arm, why don't we acknowledge that gender is a spectrum and we all lie somewhere along that spectrum, and how we wish to define ourselves is up to us.